Wake up for, okay, so good morning. Last week we talked about connecting the Omer back to the time of the Man, and yesterday I had something to add on to that, which comes in this week's Parsha, which also follows Rabbanit Penina, is it Rabbanit? Yeah, what she talked about yesterday in this Midrash. So the amount of years that we wandered in the desert was 40 years, which is equivalent in a certain way to the 40 weeks of the pregnancy period of giving birth. So in the way that when we were in the desert, we're getting all our food in the form of manna from Hashem, 100% we're sustained. It's the same way that a baby, for the 40 weeks inside its mom's belly, is being sustained. So when the baby is born, and in the same way that when we leave the desert, we're now looking to find this way to get that sustenance again. So there's this comparison when we're counting for the 49 days. It's really frightening because at the end of 49 days, we're now going to go into Shavuot, and we're kind of on our own again because now we have the Torah, and it's on us in the same way that the Jews went into Israel. They had to be on their own too. There was no more man. So in the Midrash yesterday, she mentioned Rav Yeshua ben Levi used to talk to Eliyahu Hanavi, and he asked him this question, where's Mashiach? And she said to him, Mashiach could be anywhere. It could be in the gates of Rome. So there's another Midrash with the same Rav Yeshua where he tricks the angel of death, and he says to the angel, I want to go see over the curtain what's in heaven, and he jumps over the wall into heaven, and I never heard this until I read it, and he goes in, and Eliyahu Hanavi says, make way for Rav Yeshua, and he sees Rav Shimon Bar Yochai sitting on 13 cushions of gold, and Rav Shimon says, I have one question for you before you sit down, because he didn't want to make way for him. And he says, what's the question? He goes, was there a rainbow when you were alive? So there's another midrash that says from the time of Noah that when Hashem said, I'm not going to destroy the world, the symbol was a rainbow. And if there is a rainbow, it means that there wasn't a righteous person in the world to protect the people. So Rav Yeshua said there was a rainbow. And it happens to be he was very modest, and he said there really wasn't a rainbow, but he didn't want to embarrass Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. And the point being that he had not protected the people. That was the message. So when the whole message about Mashiach, what was the message? The idea is that Mashiach is the time where we're free from oppression, from frustration. So I was wondering, where did Midrashim come from? So if you look in this week's Parsha, we get the mitzvah of Yovel. For 49 years, we're going through 7 Shemitah cycles. In the 50th year, it's this big hoopla, and the pasuk says, "V'kidashtem et shnat ha'chamishim shana." You're going to sanctify the 50th year. Ukratem dvar. You're going to call out freedom in the land. Ba'aretz l'chol yishver, to all the people in the land. Yovel hi. It's going to be again this Jubilee tiyalachem. V'shavtem ish al chuzato v'ish al mishpachto tashuvo. Vishavtem is the big word. You will return each person to his home and each person to his family. So I think this is actually a midrashic statement in the sense that Vishavtem in that 50th year, you're actually going to return to the source that we all started from. In the same way, starting with the man, that we got the sustenance from God, or when we were birthed, that we're going to, our whole life is really coming back to that point of being totally sustained. So the last point I will share is that there was no Brit Milah in the desert. It only started when we went into Israel, which is really a symbol of a rebirth. So we should have a great week and get close to that sustenance feeling again.